Sebenarnya saya menjemput yang bahagia Dato Musa untuk memberikan sedikit pembentangan mengenai vaccination ni. Seperti semua tahu, saya maklum Dato Musa merupakan ahli seorang neonatologis atau profesor pediatris dan juga member of Asia Pacific Expert Committee on Immunization. Jadi tanpa meninggalkan masa, saya menyebut yang bahagia Dato Musa untuk memberikan presentation ini. Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, peace and blessings dan Ramadan Mubarak kepada Muslimin dan Muslimat. InsyaAllah saya akan membincangkan secara the bigger picture insyaAllah, ya. Dan just to remind myself and the audience that I'm not affiliated to any vaccine companies. That's my disclosure. Dan ini ada perspektif sejarah sebagai mukadimah. Kemudian dia, what are the evidence for the safety of vaccines? And insyaAllah I will conclude. Now, even the Greeks, they knew that when you get smallpox, you don't get it a second time. That's the concept of immune memory. And in around 900 of the century, the Muslim scholar Al-Razi wrote a monograph, probably the first in the world, on smallpox and measles, right? And then the nuns, the Buddhist nuns, right? They took the smallpox cat, right? They powdered it, they blew it out the nose to protect against smallpox. Brilliant, yeah? And then the Turkish physicians, the Muslim physicians in Turkey, they took the scab, right? They made it into liquid and then they injected it. This is variolation. And the wife of the ambassador of Britain in Turkey was inspired by this idea. This thing is slipping down.
Laptop.
Brought the idea back to the United Kingdom, and I think this is what gave Jenner the idea, and he came up with the first smallpox vaccine in 1796. This is smallpox. I have never seen a case of smallpox, and I bet neither any of you in this audience has seen it. It kills 1 in 3, it disfigures 1 in 3, and only 1/3 survive normal. Okay? And if you are immunized, the risk of you getting smallpox is only 1%. In this study, if you are not immunized, the risk of you getting smallpox is 50%. Evidence. The vaccine protects. Look, these are the last cases of smallpox. Very important for you to note this, because the large crowd in here are Muslims. That's from Bangladesh, a Muslim country, and that's from Somalia, a cook from Somalia. In 1980, WHO declared smallpox as dipupuskan, dibasmikan daripada bumi kita. Alhamdulillah. Yeah? But you see, we have become victims of our successes. You have never seen a case of polio. Look at these kids in the 50s. They lived their life in these iron chambers. Many of them died. George Santayana, Spanish philosopher, said, those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Remember that. And if they don't die, they are physically disabled for life. And look at them. They feared polio. They queued for the vaccines. And in the summer, the parents will not allow the children to go and play, to go to the swimming pool. Tak pergi ke gereja. Why? Takut dapat smallpox. Frightened. Alhamdulillah. The brilliant program we have in our Ministry of Health saw that the last case was in 1985. The other 2 cases are imported into Malaysia from our neighbours. And dengan ikhtiar kita, Allah memberikan pelajaran kepada kita. Look, this was polio all over the world. And last year, only 3 countries. And note, my Muslim brothers and sisters, Nigeria, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Malaysia, Muslim countries. And today, Nigeria is off the list. Tinggal Pakistan dengan Afghanistan. And why we must make sure there is not one even polio case? Because this is what happened. The polio from Nigeria spread to 25 countries in the world. This is an epidemic. Any idea what this is? I think none of you are old enough. This is influenza. Yeah? All over the world. 1 in 5 was infected. 40 million died. This is maqasid syariah, the protection of life. 40 juta meninggal dunia. Kill more than Perang Dunia Pertama. We had the epidemic in 2009. And with the vaccine, only 300,000 deaths. Even the children during that time, you might keeping. I had a bird named Enza. I opened the window and influenza.
Influenza.
This, you pergi Hajj. Pergi Hajj, you balik, you're supposed to be very happy, a joyous occasion, but not the situation year 2000. The epicenter is Saudi Arabia. They returned to their family and they gave meningococcal meningitis. 20 countries in the world. Europe, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Australia. Some people think, you know, clean water so we don't have these diseases, good hygiene, good... Excuse me, just 16 years ago, there were 40 million cases of measles. So no hygiene good. We should not see measles. 500,000 died. 10% got pneumonia. 1 in 1,000 got meningitis, infeksi di bahagian selaput otak. 1 in 10,000 became blind. But Alhamdulillah, look at this. In 1990, there were 12 million deaths. In 2008, 8.8 million deaths. Due to what? The bulk of this was from the measles immunizations, which dropped it down to 23%. And inshallah, I was in Kathmandu just about 3 years ago. We were talking about elimination of measles and rubella. And if you look at the slide, right? The vaccination is saving about 2.5 million lives. Even one life saved is a maqasid. The higher objectives of the Islamic jurisprudence. There is an opportunity to save another 2.5 million lives, inshallah. But this is the situation. Alhamdulillah, I think generally Malaysia is very good because we've got great jobs done by Dato and the team in the Ministry of Health, right? Malaysian Pediatric Association, Infectious Diseases Society, good media coverage except for Sinar Harian, which showed a case of a child that was paralyzed according to vaccines, which was a misinformation. We wrote to them, or rather, the president of Imam wrote to them. This is really mischievous, right? But we have a sprinkle which is growing of vaccine refusers. Yes, there are not very many growing, but they're very loud, right? That is less than 0.1% of the population. A bit bigger are the hesitancy. This is the one that we want to beat over. The ones who don't want to listen to evidence, we can't do much for that. Why? Harmful, it's my individual right, it's against my religion, doctors are making profits, alternative medicine is superior. It's a Zionist conspiracy. It's conspiracy. You know, virtually all the outbreaks in the world that you see are amongst those who had not the opportunity to be vaccinated, or the bulk of it are those who are vaccine refusers. In America, measles was eliminated in the year 2000. All the measles in America was imported. Just last year, they had an epidemic. One child, the mother refused to vaccinate her child, went to Disneyland, got measles, spread it to 20 states in the United States of America, went up north to Canada, down south to Mexico. 157 cases from one vaccine-refusing parent. UK, look at the epidemic. This is Wales. Inshallah, Wales will win the World Cup. Look at the epidemic. Yeah. Masa I student kat sana, I tak pernah tengok a case of measles. Now the medical student will have a gala time that will be measles. And this was the data that was given by Dato tadi. They add now diphtheria. So, selama tu tidak vaksin ni, excuse me lah, you mandi ya, 350 kau drown in your bathtub every day, You take breakfast, 200 people choke and die. So you tak bekerja. So you tak mandi. You balance. The benefits outweigh the risk. So same thing with vaccines. Kebaikannya, masalahnya amat besar kalau dibandingkan dengan risiko yang telah pun our pharmacists mention. Okay? And because, as mentioned by our pharmacist, it takes at least 15 years to develop a vaccine to make sure it is effective, it is safe, and it is permissible, it is pure. Research in the lab, and then small studies, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. After the vaccine is ready, pharmacovigilance, post-marketing surveillance, and every lot that goes out is tested to make sure that it is safe, it is potent, and it is pure. And not only that, part of the American study is to make sure that it has a database to ensure safety, and it's got vaccine adverse event reporting just like ours in Malaysia. So it's fully covered. So you see, we spend 15 years at least in the lab, and our friend spent an hour in Google. He's a vaccinologist, he's an immunologist, he's a consultant pediatrician. Please, let's be fair to the science. Show me the evidence and show me your research. And if you look at PubMed is something like 50 million citations, huge library of research. You publish or you perish. That's academia, that's science, that's evidence-based science. You ask the anti-vaccines, not even one item in PubMed, not even one. Your guru, Andrew Wakefield, Lancet, 1998, was retracted. So when you go onto Google, 80% of the sites of vaccines are anti-vaccine. So, you Google the site immunizationinfo.org and you can know whether that site is authentic, sahih, atau a lot of misinformation, myth, fiction. This is one site in Malaysia, inshallah, you can Google. Immunizeforlife.my. It is in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, Malaysian Pediatric Association and Malaysian Society of Infectious Diseases and Chemotherapy, one of the best sites in the world. Believe me, sanctioned by the Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia. And we are part of it, and we wrote this book. Immunization controls is what you really need to know to deal with the intelligentsia amongst all of you. And inshallah, we come with a label, right? A simpler version of this book, inshallah. But look at this. Doctors, people rely on you on information. Truth, because look at that. Parents' level of trust on website, the greed is still the doctors. The government is next. The anti-vaccine is right at the bottom. So, yes, we are concerned, but no, it's a lot of jump sites. Autism. Any credible newspaper, any credible TV station will not talk about autism and vaccine. Ibn Sina said, if you have a link between A and B, that study must be reproducible. This study was never reproduced. It was a hoax. And he is the top guru of the anti-vaccines. Lobby. Yeah, they hailed him as a hero. Of course. He was removed from the General Medical Council. His 10 colleagues who were writing the paper with him withdrew. And 20,000 studies were looked at. The very good studies, about 70, and they all showed no link whatsoever. And I will just show you one study. Danish study. 1.5 million to MMR. 500,000, no MMR, no vaccine. They followed up, no difference. Autism rates between yang ambil dan yang tak ambil. 2 million samples. And you will kill sampel dia berapa? 12. Jenny McCarthy berapa sampel dia? 1. Where is she graduated from? Google University. I mean, let's be evidence-based. And this is another evidence. Look at autism in red and look at the yellow MMR. See, MMR in the United Kingdom about the same. But yet, autism was slightly, so there must be another factor. And we know it is genetic. Kalau ada kembar seiras, one has got autism, the risk of the other one getting autism is 90%. It is in your DNA makeup. Alright? And just again to show you that they were hoping that they can do a study to show this link. So they funded the study. They put in about 2 million. And the study showed that there is no link between autism vaccine. They might be an anti-vaccine group. So, MMR doesn't cause autism. So now we go to mercury. Look at this. This is really playing with our emotions. Look at that. Thimerosal. Mercury causes autism. Vaccine. No one admitted after the movie starts. Genocide. This is really wrenching at your heart. I mean, what science is this? This is playing with your emotions. And think that there's no mercury in vaccine. There's only one vaccine that's got mercury. Why do you need mercury? Because dia ambil 10 doses in one vial, kan? Takut bacteria bertambah. So there is ethyl mercury, which is the non-poisonous, compared to methyl mercury, which is in your food chain. Right? Look at that. Only in influenza. And the mercury in the flu vaccine is 15 kali kurang dibandingkan dengan anak yang diberi susu. So you vaccine you feed your baby's mercury, you know, it's 15 times more than in flu vaccines. Okay, mercury tak jalan aluminium. Aluminium is heavy metal. Aluminium kills. It is toxic. Okay, look. Aluminium breast milk. Aluminium in formula. Soy formula. Vaccine. Formaldehyde, you know, we put samples. Formaldehyde is used to kill the bacteria. Alright, so it becomes it doesn't proliferate. Look at that fact. And look at vaccine. The vaccine only contains less than 1% of formaldehyde compared to the pear you makan. Or you have pear for your gut, so you're in trouble, man. You put aluminium there. Yeah, it's 100 times more than in vaccines. You see, they bring, and all this data is wrong. Look at all the side effects. 81 max, where did this number from? It's, you know, if you were to give all the vaccines in one shot, it will only take up less than 0.1% of the immune space. That is the beauty of the human body. You know, there was one anti-vaccine guy who jawab Dato Dr. Ahir punya letter tentang diphtheria. The mortality from diphtheria is only 5 to 10%. Excuse me, hello. 1 in 10 dies from diphtheria. Even if one mati, that's a human tragedy. You take it so lightly, yeah? Look at that. If they don't die within the week, they die 3-4 weeks later. Why? Because the toxin affects the heart, affects the nerves. You know, mums, bengok. Before the vaccine was available, it was the number 1 cause of deafness and encephalitis. Alternative method is better. Everything has to be natural. This is from Allah, excuse me. Allah gives us that intellect. Alright. You see, breastfeeding is the first vaccine. Okay lah. I'm a breastfeeding father, okay? I started with one Rokia, one Fatima and Dr. Farhan, the Baby Friendly Hospital Initiative, 1990. Now all our hospitals are baby friendly. So to suggest that I am not breast friendly is a big thing. But to suggest that breast milk has got all the vaccines, even as polio, no, it does not have. Most of the protection you get is from the placenta. And itu pun tahan sampai 6 to 9 months. Not from breast milk. So don't be fanatics, man. Be evidence-based. And look at these anti-vaccine guys. These are all the gurus, you know. These are neurosurgeons. Not that I made up surgeon because our DG is a breast, is a endocrine surgeon, but excellent. He's at the forefront fighting vaccine. But this guy, you know what he does? Vaccine cause autism. Take my brain repair pills. They are selling something. Do homeopathy. Yes, they sell health newsletters, supplements. They sell DVDs. That is a business. Alright? And this, you know, they are not vaccinologists. They are just celebrities, but they have done a disservice to vaccinology, I'm afraid. Jim Carrey, her ex-boyfriend. Oh, it's a conspiracy. Pharma people making a lot of money. Look at the death in 2008. 8.8 million. Preventable, 1.6 million pneumonia death. Preventable, 1.3 million diarrheal death. And di mana dia meninggal dunia? Mana? Where are these deaths occurring? Kerana kita malu tak pergi WHO lah. Banyak tak muka these recalcitrant Muslims. Yeah. And this is not the teaching of Islam. وَمَنْ أَحْيَاهَا فَكَأَنَّ أَحْيَانَهَا جَمِيعًا. If you save one life, it is as though you save the whole of humanity. That is our maqasid. Not only you protect life, you protect the brain, you protect the intellect, you protect the reproduction, and you save money. Al-mal. And you save the pharma conspiracy. You look at this. You vaccinate your child. You save 151 billion in long-term and short-term benefits. And who benefits? Look at the country. Nigeria, the Muslim. Indonesia, Pakistan, Sudan, Afghanistan. This conspiracy theory is really a lot of reflection of our failure to address our weaknesses. And what is the health impact? This is Vaksin. You prevent 426 million cases of vaccine-preventable diseases, and you prevent 6.4 million deaths. You give me your data with regards to alternative medicine. And look at this. We did a study for the heat vaccine to prevent meningitis. For every 1 ringgit we spend, we save 3 ringgit. And not only that, Inna Allah ya'muru bil adli wal ihsan. You listen to this every Jumaat. The Khatib will say, God commanded you to be adil and ihsan, and this is vaccine. Look at the black boy in the United States of America. The rates of pneumococcal invasive disease is 240 for every 100,000. The white boy about 50 per 100,000. Maknanya 5 kali ganda budak hitam kena invasive pneumococcal disease. It causes brain infection, lung infection, ear infection. But when you introduce a vaccine, equalize. This is being adil, adalah. Menyambut seruan Inna Allah ya'muru bil adli wal ihsan. It's against our religious principles. Oh, Kira. It's my final slide. Final blue slide. This is the European Council for Fatwa and Research, ECFR, headed by Sheikh Yusuf Al-Qaradawi. May Allah give him longevity. And 110 creme de la creme fuqaha, religious scholars. And what was their fatwa about the use of trypsin? Trypsin in the making of oral polio. Dia kata, itu enzyme. It is not the pig that we are eating. Malay is got allergy to pigs. It is a Malay problem. It is not a Muslim problem. We are not eating the pig. We are taking the enzyme. Okay, ini fuqaha cakap, not me saying. Itu you tak terima, yang digunakan hanya sedikit, minuscule, very little, minute amount. Kalau ada air 2 kolak, dia jadi suci. Okay, if that's why you tak terima, dia kata, you know, the trypsin is filtered through a process called ultrafiltration. At the end product has got no traces of porcine. Tak ada finger. See, this ulama really cutting edge vaccinology, man. Yeah. If that we that people that they say, okay lah, this is darurat. Mudah. Our scholars mudah je. Start dengan darurat. This is this 110 scholars begin with science. Okay lah, that does have this darurat. Because polio kills. Polio disfigures. Polio makes you physically handicapped. Amazing scholars. And anyway, why do you use porcine trypsin? Because, you know, my daughter born in the UK, dia tak boleh jumpa darah tau. Because of transmissible spongiform encephalopathy, mad cow disease. You use something from bovine lembu, this is the risk. So, if you don't accept the one from Europe, then you have to accept Jakim. This is Jakim's fatwa on the vaccines. Harus dari disyarah kerana berdasarkan kaedah Qanun Mafasid, the protection against harm overrides the acquisition of benefit. Jawab al-masalih. Right? So that is the dalam perundangan Islam. Diambil dari bahan yang suci, sekiranya vaksin dan bahan suci tidak diperolehi atau sukar diperolehi, maka program vaksin mesti ada alat diharuskan. So, This is our national immunization program. It is one of the best in the world. We were the first to introduce vaccine. Singapore pun tak ada masa tu, Korea pun tak ada. That was in the year 2002. Korea pun tak ada, Taiwan pun tak ada, Hong Kong pun tak ada. Hebat our KKM people. Alright? And not only that, IPV, AP, injectable polio, and the HIV pertussis, we were the first in the Asia Pacific. HPV, we are still the first in the year 2010. All the supposedly developed nations in Asia Pacific, we've done excellently well. And we have to protect this jealously. Kita kena jaga. Yeah. Then inshallah, there are other vaccines that you can get out in the private sector. So inshallah, I hope I have convinced you. I cakap macam ni biasa tau. So jangan marah dengan I tau. I ni memang very loud lah. I don't know how to bring my volume down. So it's not that, but when I speak to my patient, I'm so gentle. Really. So inshallah, I hope I convince you that this is a powerful child survival strategy. It saves life. There is a potential to save another 2.5 million lives and prevent 750,000 intellectual and physical disabilities. Satu. Keduanya, if we use all the vaccines well, we access all the socio-economic status, and we convince refusers. And hopefully the one who are hesitant will be convinced, inshallah. Okay? And I hope I debunked you some of the controls, but no problem. We can discuss. We are fairly rational people. And I hope when we discuss, we discuss based on science. We discuss based on truth, not on misinformation. And these are some very invaluable sites, right, for you to Google. Wallahu a'lam bissawab. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.